Have you heard about the Ring of Fire Rosh Hashanah eclipse that is coming in October? Michael Snyder reports, why do solar eclipses keep falling on such noteworthy dates? In 2024, there will be a total of just 2 solar eclipses. The first happened on April 8, 2024. That was known as the Great American Eclipse of 2024, and it occurred just after the sun had gone down in Israel and the first day of the first month on the Hebrew calendar had begun. The second solar eclipse of 2024 will take place October 2nd. When it occurs, the sun will have just gone down in Israel and the festival of Rosh Hashanah will have just started. I realize that this is a lot to process, so let it sink in for a moment. Is it just a coincidence that the first solar eclipse of 2024 just happened to fall on the very first day of the very first month on the Hebrew calendar, and the second solar eclipse of 2024 just happens to fall on the day that is celebrated as the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah? Let me try to break all of this down one step at a time. According to Daily Galaxy, on October 2nd, we will witness a stunning annual solar eclipse. A mesmerizing astronomical event is on the horizon as the moon prepares to pass between the Earth and the Sun, creating a stunning annular solar eclipse. This rare celestial occurrence, where the moon is positioned just far enough from Earth to leave a brilliant ring of sunlight visible around its silhouette, promises to captivate sky watchers with its unique and dramatic display. Known as the Ring of Fire, this phenomenon offers a breathtaking view that differs significantly from a total solar eclipse, where the sun is completely obscured. So exactly what is an annual solar eclipse? It's when the moon crosses the face of the sun but does not completely block it out, and when the moon is centered directly in front of the sun, a ring of sunlight is still visible around the moon, and that's why such an event is often called the Ring of Fire eclipse. Annular eclipses are very special types of solar eclipse. During an annular eclipse, the moon is centered in front of the sun, but does not completely obscure it, instead leaving a ring of sunlight visible around the moon's edges. This circle of light is called an annulus, or sometimes a ring of fire. Annular solar eclipses happen only when the moon is at the farthest point from Earth in its orbit, making the moon appear smaller than usual from the Earth's perspective. For those that are able to view this eclipse, it will truly be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. According to USA Today, the moon will begin to cross the face of the sun at 1542 UTC. 1542 UTC, partial eclipse begins. The partial eclipse occurs when the moon, sun, and Earth don't perfectly align and only the outer shadow of the moon's shadow is cast on Earth. 1650 UTC, annular eclipse begins. An annular eclipse describes the moment the moon passes between Earth and Sun, creating the illusion of a thin ring of sunlight around the moon. 1845 UTC, maximum eclipse begins. This happens when the moon completely covers the face of the sun. 2039 UTC, annular eclipse ends. 2147, partial eclipse ends. 1542 UTC is 6:42 p.m. in Jerusalem. On October 2nd, the sun will go down at 6:22 p.m. in Israel, and that is precisely when the festival of Rosh Hashanah will start. So when this eclipse begins, the festival of Rosh Hashanah will have just commenced. During the fall festival of last year, the current war in the Middle East began when Hamas terrorists attacked Israel October 7, 2023. Will something unusual also happen during the fall festival this year? We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Unlike the Great American Eclipse of 2024, the eclipse of October 2nd will not be visible in the continental United States. According to Forbes, the best place to view it will be on Easter Island. The place to be for that will be Easter Island, also called Rapa Nui, where eclipse hunters will hope for clear skies while touring the mysterious stone monolithic human figures called the Moai that date from the 13th century. USA Today has put together a list of some other nations where people will be gathering to watch the sky October 2nd. American Samoa, Antarctica, Bolivia, Brazil, Cook Islands, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, Fiji, French Polynesia, Kiribati, that's between North Island, New Zealand, and Hawaii, Mexico, New Zealand, Niue, Paraguay, Peru, Pitcairn Islands, Samoa, South Georgia, Sandwich Islands, those are towards the Antarctica area, Tokelau, Tonga, Tuvalu, Uruguay, Wallis, and Futuna. Many people out there are entirely convinced that the solar eclipse of 2024 are just completely random events that have no significance whatsoever, and I certainly understand why they would choose to see things that way. But Jesus did specifically warn us that there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and the stars in the last days, and in order to have a solar eclipse, the sun and moon must both be involved. Here in 2024, we have already witnessed the solar eclipse on the very first day of the very first month on the biblical calendar, and now we're going to witness a solar eclipse on the very first day of the 7th month on the biblical calendar, which is considered to be the Jewish New Year. If that is just a coincidence, it really is a bizarre one. Could it be possible that someone is trying to get our attention? Could it be possible that this year is being marked for some reason? My regular readers already know how I feel because I have been writing about this stuff for a long time. In Genesis chapter 1, God specifically stated that one of the reasons why he was creating the sun and moon was because he planned to use them as signs. We have seen this all throughout history, and now I'm convinced that this year on his calendar is being marked for a purpose. So buckle up and hold on tight, because I have a feeling that the chaos that we have seen so far will be nothing compared to the chaos that is coming. This is from Michael Snyder on the Economic Collapse blog. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. This is by Michael Snyder. About the author, Michael Snyder's extremely controversial new book entitled Chaos is available in paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 7 other books that are available on Amazon, including End Times, 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies, Future America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News. And he always freely and happily allows others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.